The opposition NDC says it stands firmly behind its Member of Parliament Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who is facing contempt charges in court. Party supporters and a team of traditional authorities on Tuesday morning pitched camp at the Law Court complex where the case filed by Reverend Kusi Boateng was heard for the first time. Court correspondent Joseph Akable reports.
The Secretary to the National Cathedral Board of Trustees, Reverend Kusi Boateng, says the MP should be punished for contempt. The MP's constituents, however, disagree.
Allege that our boss, our MP, the leader of Northtown, which is the MP, is in the court. So the citizens felt that they are supposed to be here to support him. Whatever is going to happen, and they are here to support him.
But so far, do you have an understanding of what exactly the issues are here? Because to come to the conclusion that you need to come here and support me, you must have some appreciation of what is going on.
Alleged one, Kusi Boateng made an allegations of true identity. That's what we know so far. So we are here to find out what is allegation that she's making, whether it's true or not. But we are here as a citizen because we know the MP, what is the MP is capable to do. Don't criticize me about what I'm doing, but try also to do something so that you also can get a name, a proper name. So if maybe simply means that what Okudzeto is doing, that's the name is all over, that we all know that everywhere you reach, the name is all over, that you want to destroy his name, you want to destroy his image. That's the meaning of the song.
When you pay attention to the things happening, it is important that the likes of Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa must be celebrated for exposing the lies and the rotten system that we are in. Look at the case before the court, very trivial, such that a man of God or a supposed man of God who on different occasions has used different names, different dates of birth, and different personal data or biodata, such a person will be the one seeking to gag a member of parliament from doing his work. That in 2016 he has a different voter's ID card with different date of birth. 2020, different age, different date of birth. On numerous occasions, his family has celebrated him for different dates of birth. This is the kind of system that we are, and it's important for us to expose it.
The case was heard for the first time on Tuesday. The court asked that a member of parliament be served properly with the processes, even though he was present in court. The case was therefore adjourned indefinitely. Key party figures, including General Secretary Fifi Kwete, Deputy Minority Leader Imano Amakofi-Boa, say the MP will not be gagged.
The NDC as a party, from the national through the region, through Ketu, through Northtown, is fully behind our comrade, our brother, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. To say that the party is not deterred at all, that there's nothing that the forces that are against the truth can do to discourage him or to make him feel that what he's doing is not the right cause. We believe the cause he's fighting is the cause of truth, the cause of transparency, and there's nothing that can be done to discourage him. And the party stands fully, 100% behind him. And that's why we are here to show exactly that.
Our distinguished Honorable Member of Parliament, Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who has dedicated his life in fighting for the right things done for the country, in fighting for corruption, in ensuring that our constitution is upheld. You should have seen Mr. Adu Jemfi in court, but instead, you know who was in court? The man who was fighting for the right thing for Ghana, Okudzeto-Ablakwa. And that is why you are all here. That is why you see all the crowd here. The people of Ghana are committed and support all the right things he's fighting for. The minority in parliament stands strongly behind him. And we want to make it clear. Today we went to court, it was obvious that the people who took us to court are running away from their own application. And this is really a victory for the people of Ghana. What it is that we are very clear in our mind. We are going to stand by Okudzeto and fight for the right thing for the people of Ghana.
Sort of mood, they are pouring the powder on him. You can see him there, they are pouring the powder on him and cheering him on. A number of them, earlier when we spoke to them, they said they had simply come to support him. A number of them cheering him on.
President Akufo-Addo's nominee for Minister of State in charge of local government, Obi Amwa, has justified the decision to partner with the GRA to collect property rates. Experts have criticized government and the assemblies for failing to employ modern methods to collect what they call massive revenue handle. But some people are not happy with the GRA partnership, warning it will stifle the assemblies. Answering questions at his vetting, the Kwapim South MP said the arrangement is the best way to effectively collect property rates. Let's cross over live for a bit more of a session at the Appointments Committee in Parliament.
So are you admitting that the President's decision was not well thought out?
Is this cross-examination? You put it to me. Are you putting it to me?
I'm not putting it. I'm asking you whether you think the President's decision was not well thought out.
I think, let me moderate. Kindly ask the question in another way. Yes,
Will you say the President's decision was not appropriate? Because as you have admitted, his decision has actually made things worse because, in your words, the absence of a regional minister now makes coordinating of district chief executives difficult.
So what do you want the President to do now? He has deputy ministers, you complain. He takes them out, you complain. What else do you want the President to do? The President, in his wisdom, has decided that this is the team that he has to use. But doesn't mean that...
Honorable Obiama, let's avoid arguments. You are not sitting here, now you're sitting there. You are the nominee, not a member.
Putting words in my mouth that I'm saying the President has this, that. That's what I've said. Please, and this is the third time
Honorable
you say
Obiama, I can suspend your consideration for the next 3 days. Right. Well, all I'm suggesting is that answer the questions yes or no. Cut out the arguments. Yes, he says, would you say the President, do you agree or not? Oh, leave it there.
The President has not heard. I'm just drawing your attention that you cannot, over this short period, say that it's good, so he has to carry it through. That's all.
Okay. Just for your information, I actually said I commended the President when he decided. I would have been happier if he even reduced the deputy ministers. But that's for another day. I would go this way. When you take the report on audit of government of Ghana COVID expenditure for the period March 20th to June 2022, that document on page 53, a table headlined Misapplication of COVID-19 Funds. The second table talks about release of funds and actually the main headline is the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. And it says, release of funds for the purchase of curtains for the following rooms: room 32, room 13, room 38.
Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante joins us with more. Kweku, what other outstanding questions came up at the vetting committee session? Hello, Kweku.
For Obi, I want to answer has to do with government and the number of ministers they have.
Kweku Asante is our parliamentary correspondent. He's monitoring events for us. Kweku, if you can hear me, what other questions were put to the minister designate?
So, Aisha, the number of questions that have gone to him has to do with the number of ministers that the President Akufo-Addo has and what exactly his role would be.
All right, there seemed to be a problem with connection. We'll try and get Kweku Asante to bring us more from Parliament. Definitely in the chamber, there's also a lot happening there. We'll bring you all of that. But we can take you live back to Parliament to get a session of Obiamo's vetting.
The funds were allocated for specific purpose. And if for any reason you don't apply to that purpose, then you have to supply the funds. So you face the consequences.
Well, Honorable, a senior colleague, you are the one who, Auditor General doesn't want to be Minister of Local Government. You are the one who wants to be the minister. You may be the one making similar decisions. So I'm asking you, will you take a decision like that? Thank you for the advice. I'll move on. My good friend, Honorable Henry, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, is not here. But I have this question as well. I am aware you are the ministry that superintends over the regional coordinating councils. There's been an issue where we can all see, including as we speak, some citizens of this country keep filling Sakumono Ramsar site with refuse. As they fill, then the land gets allocated to people to own and build on it. This issue has come even to Parliament. Have you ever cited a report that suggests that Sakumono Ramsar site is being filled with refuse under the watch of the relevant district assembly in Tama?
Well, Ramsar site has been in the news for quite some time. And I'll commend the regional minister for the efforts he's making in ensuring that Ramsar site is kept the way it's supposed to be kept. There are reports as to how the land has been misused. Some encroachment, some without any authority, using the land as the way they want to use it. And indeed, as I said, the Greater Accra Regional Minister must be commended for all the effort he's made. If there are other reports which should indict any chief executive, I'm sure Honorable Minister will take the required action. And if there are any instructions that he will give, we'll carry out the instructions to abate any untoward situation as far as Ramsar site is concerned.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. On 29th of December 2015, there are various reports of an interview you granted where you suggested that there's a need for a minimum qualification to become a member of Parliament. And I agree with you. 2015, Ghana Web, Ghana Policy, I mean, it's widely reported. And you suggested that the minimum qualification to become a member of Parliament should be a first degree. Do you still hold on to that belief?
Well, probably I was taken out of context. If I remember very well, unless they are picking it from somewhere, I was at a program with Honorable Fritz Baffo, and the issue about minimum qualification, all those things came in. I couldn't have said that flatly or in extenso. If you don't have a first degree, you can't be an MP. I have very good friends who don't have first degrees. We become fantastic MPs. But if you sometimes you put that, you may even say ideally. Ideally doesn't mean that if somebody is outside the bracket, then it means he can be a good MP. It was a discussion on how to enrich some of these things, and probably that's how it was picked, or that's how it came out. I would not make that flat, categorical statement when that is not so. I have very good friends who have excelled in their various fields and not necessarily holding a first degree. My major point is the work of an MP is sometimes very intellectual. People sit outside, they have the impression that, oh, maybe I had a shock of my life when a policeman said he didn't know MPs go to work. That's, I mean, so we get up and we roam in the constituency. This is a place of work. And so people should have an idea of the kind of work we do here. And that if you come here, you'll be saddled with so much intellectual work that you should be prepared for it. That's the kind of thing that I want to put across.
You have the O.P. Amwa, Minister Designate for Local Government at the presidency. Now, in 3 years, from 2020 to 2022, 1,114 pregnancies have been recorded amongst adolescents aged 10 to 14. In 2022 alone, the total number of these kids who got pregnant was 371. On the average, there is one abortion among this group every single day. This is coming from the Ghana Health Service. Let me share with you details of the research that was released by the Ghana Health Service. It says total teenage abortions stand at 24,108 between 2020 and 2022. Now, that's not all. It says more in that report, and I'll be sharing that as well with you. As you heard earlier, it's saying that in 2020, all teenage abortions stand at 8,026. That's in the year 2020. In the year 2021, it stands at 8,465. That's an increase significantly from the 2020 figure. Now you come to 2022, it's reduced to 7,617, but that also shows that there is one abortion every day between that age, 10 to 14. So let's look at adolescent abortions. That's between the age 10 to 14 years. And in 2020, you have 329. In 2021, increased to 441. 2022, 371. And that's according to the report. Now, if you look at the total teenage pregnancies across the country, in 2020, you'll have a figure of 109,857. In 2021, you have 109,591. That has also reduced, you know, it's reduced a bit. Now you come to 2022, it has reduced significantly to 102,673. And that is where we are right now. Now, Country Director for the International Child Development Program, Joyce Lanyo, says this is unacceptable and we must do more to ensure some of these things do not happen.
I've never seen the case where a gentleman who has impregnated a teenager has been sent to court, charged for such an offense, but that we will all see that it's really an offense. And most of the cases, we've not done the advocacy enough. People don't know about this. And worst of it all, the guys will say, oh, I'm in love, and that's my boyfriend. And so, please, I'm in love. Once the guy starts saying those things, you don't know where you stand in terms of the law. Okay. And so it's a challenge that we are having, and we are speaking against it, that this particular law should be repealed so that we know in clear terms what happens if you engage in sex. And then you do not seek the consent. But seeking the consent is also an issue. If the girl says, yes, I agree to it, then what do you do? Where do you stand? We need to do something. I'm not a lawyer, though, but we need to do something about this so that we are clear in our minds about issues of teenage pregnancy, and then we know how to couch the messages to help address this menace. Otherwise, we have a chunk of our girls who are dropping out because of this phenomenon of teenage pregnancy.
The Education Ministry is encouraging candidates who wish to change from grammar to technical schools to do so. The move, according to the ministry, is intended to broaden the technical and vocational space for national development. Speaking to Joy Prime's Rosalind Feli on Prime Morning, the Deputy Public Relations Officer at the ministry indicated this will also help reduce the pressure on the grammar schools. Dr. Yaopuku Mensah further added, TVET education is key to dealing with the bulging unemployment situation in Ghana.
To understand it from the sociological perspective of how education system has always been. Way back, the introduction of formal education. So you get to realize the over 700 senior high schools are all within the grammar space. How many technical schools do we have, and how many people are motivated to find themselves within the technical education space? So we've had enough of the grammar education, and I believe you do have complaints of job seekers, and the question is, what technical skill are you bringing on board, etc. So therefore, we need to train our manpower within the technical space for the transformation and the growth of the economy that we all seek for. So that is why we're expanding that space. That is why we're motivating and encouraging people to find themselves within the technical space. Engineering is there for you to do, whether it be it electrical engineering or mechanical engineering or whatever engineering that you describe. The work within the technical space. We need that skill people within that space. Okay. So that is why we do allow if you want to change from grammar school to a technical school.
But you can't change from a technical school to a grammar school.
Yaopuku Mensah is also urging parents to get involved in the selection of schools for the awards, which should not be the sole responsibility of their teachers.
Why somebody with good grade probably may push to the third or fourth choice or fifth choice, depending on the arrangement of schools that you've done. Naturally, those who make choices with the Wesley girls, etc., will definitely come back using the Ghana National as their second choice. And you could see the competition in there. So with your good grade and your raw score, you are pushed
out of even the Ghana National,
yes, because pushed.
It's somebody else's first choice.
Yes. So that is why arranging the schools are very important. And it saddens my heart when our staff from headquarters and the regional base go into the district, in the cluster, in the community to educate parents. And you call, at times, schools tells that even if you call parents for a meeting, you get to realize a smaller percentage are real parents. They just send somebody to represent them just because they want in there. I came to the meeting, somebody signed in front of my ward for me. It's quite worrying, and I think we parents will have to advise ourselves, pay critical attention to some of these issues.
During the choice of school.
Yeah, because no school, a teacher cannot make a choice for your ward. A teacher can only offer an advice. A teacher offers that advice based on the academic achievement of your ward.
The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumo-Boaje, has emphasized that cost-effective measures are needed to complement the existing interventions to reverse malaria death trends. 5.7 million malaria cases confirmed in Ghana in 2021 resulted in 275 deaths, including 1.6 million children under age 5, with 125 deaths. Speaking at the national launch of the expansion of the malaria vaccine implementation program in JoyNews, Dr. Kumo-Boaje said the vaccines are safe and urged all to ensure eligible children are vaccinated. Precious Semevo has more.
Since 2019, Ghana Health Services has made substantial progress towards reducing childhood morbidity and mortality through various activities. These include the pilot introduction of the malaria vaccination program in 2019. Despite the progress made, 5.7 million malaria cases were confirmed in Ghana in 2021, with 275 deaths, including 1.6 million cases of children under age 5, with 125 deaths. Ahead of the Minister of Health, Kwekwajiman Menu's national launch of the expansion of the malaria vaccination implementation program in JoyNews Monday, the Director General of the Ghana Health Services, Dr. Patrick Kumo-Boaje, said cost-effective measures are needed to complement the existing interventions to reverse the malaria death trends.
Ghana Health Service, working with our partners, are working towards the target of 90% reduction of malaria mortality, malaria deaths, and 50% reduction in malaria cases by 2025 through the mass distribution of long-acting insecticide nets, which we do almost twice a year, indoor residual spraying, the larval source management, and intermittent preventive treatment of pregnant women. We also have seasonal malaria chemoprophylaxis in areas where malaria is very high, and of course case management.
He said on the evidence of the progress and recommendations of their partners, the pilot malaria vaccination program is being expanded to cover more districts to save more lives of children under age 5.
In Ghana, a total of 1,359,199 doses of vaccine have been administered since the rollout in 2019. The service has, together with the Food and Drugs Authority, through its robust pharmacovigilance system, has established that the malaria vaccine is safe, feasible to deliver, and also reduces severe malaria. Following the positive incident evidence generated from the 3 pilot programs and other available evidence, Ghana Malaria Vaccine Implementation Program is being expanded from the current 42 districts to 93 districts in Ahafo, Bono East, Central, Oti, Upper East, and the Volta regions. For the malaria vaccine, 4 doses provide the best protection against malaria when used with other preventive measures. Children get a first dose at 6 months and the final dose at 18 months.
He called for the support of the media and other stakeholders.
The success of the rollout requires our collective effort. It is therefore necessary to provide accurate information from credible sources, including the Ghana Health Service and other health partners. In addition, the country relies on using your media platforms to assist in generating demand for all doses, including the 4th dose given when the child turns 18. Immunization protects children from vaccine-preventable diseases and serves as an opportunity to deliver other life-saving interventions. I call on everyone to support the immunization program.
Precious Semevo, JoyNews, JoyNews.
Away from malaria, leaders on the African continent have been urged to ensure they achieve the Sustainable Development Goals on access to safe water and improved sanitation by the year 2030 as estimated. This call is coming on the back of some setbacks realized by stakeholders in the sector who say much more needs to be done. Journalists from 21 African countries have therefore gathered in the Ivorian capital Abidjan to be trained and equipped with the relevant information to advocate speedy implementation of targets for the benefit of citizens. The 2-day program precedes the 21st African Water Association International Congress and Fecal Sludge Management Conference in the same country. Hano Dame was there for JoyNews.
Considering the fact that achieving the Sustainable Development Goals are mostly linked to the availability and access to potable water and proper sanitation, Some African countries are speeding up their action plans to ensure they meet the set targets. Stakeholders in the sector have therefore begun comparing notes through peer reviews in a bid to improve on their strategies. This action has roped in journalists to serve as mouthpiece of their fast-paced implementation agenda. According to a sanitation coordinator at AFWA, Dr. Mbaye Mbegware, leaders on the continent must initiate alternatives to their plans, which are not yielding the needed results as expected.
It is important for us to advocate in order to get this mind shift, to allow to these decision makers to know there is an alternative to this collective sanitation that is very expensive in terms of investment, in terms of operation, and to know that it is important to do sanitation differently. Business as usual is not working at all in sanitation. We need to think out of the box to reinvent some new solution, and we cannot do so without a mind shift.
A sanitation management trainer, Valentino Yao, highlighted the need for the proper disposal of waste, which he says has not been taken seriously, though it has a potential to generate revenue for a country as well.
The best way to dispose of the waste, mainly the solid waste, is to transform the waste into a product, a new product, as a fertilizer, agriculture fertilizer. This will allow people to reduce field contamination with chemical fertilizer, and will improve also the field to produce more.
Joey Imbabazi of the New Times publications in Rwanda shared with JoyNews the importance of the conference for her advocacy.
Now journalists can pick from there information. At least when you have the statistics, you know where to start from. Yes, so now we have the statistics, we know where to improve, we know which region is mostly facing with what, and they've told us about areas or countries that do not use the toilets even when they have them. So all this information we've learned, I believe, is going to make a difference, because now we are going to be knowing exactly what to do that we didn't know.
Organizers are hopeful the fearful estimate by the WHO and UNICEF that by the year 2030, billions of people around the world will not have access to safe water, sanitation and hygiene services will not materialize if all of these packed action plans are implemented. For JoyNews, I am Hannah Odame.
We're still live on JoyNews today. We are coming to you from our studios in Kokomlemle. We are on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144.